What's up, friends? Thanks for joining me back on the patio for day 31 of 100 Days of Making Comics. It's a little chilly out. Things are going good today. Marshall Lee actually gave me a good question just, I think yesterday or the day before. He asked me how I was going to release this comic, and I hadn't really thought about it too much before that, because I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I'm going to be releasing it online for free, probably through Webtoons or whatever. I don't have a set schedule yet, but I'm thinking like I'll upload every scene as I get it finished. And he asked me, well, what do scenes look like in your comic book? Because it could mean a bunch of different things. And the scenes in my comic book, I go back to my reference sheet, kind of like this. They're kind of the scenes you would see in a movie. Since have a background in animation a little bit, I use a lot of that vocabulary. But this first scene in particular, it's about, well, it is exactly 14 pages. And I think that's the longest scene of the whole comic. But if you think about a movie scene, that's pretty much what I'm trying to depict. And I've got 9 scenes in total for these 95 pages. And each scene is broken up by mostly a blank page with just a simple illustration, kind of a scene break. Hope that answers the question good enough. I don't know. Since some things I've never talked about, so I don't know if I'm explaining them very well, but Jan also had an awesome video you guys should check out just the other day. It's for his sci-fi adventure comic book, Phosphor. He's making a few videos on the making of his comic, and his latest episode was really great. He just talked about, how he takes his roughs and turns them into a finished page. And it was a really, really fantastic video. It makes me think about, like, the process that I'm taking. I feel like it's a little bit different, but there's so much similar that I take away a lot from what he had to say in his video. He also asked me a question almost 2 weeks back now that I never really got to. I don't know if it was so much a question, but I was having troubles with some roughs that I was working on. I knew I was going to have to revisit those roughs completely and just redraw them. I wasn't happy with them at all. And he just commented that he didn't really know what it was that I didn't like, because he didn't see much of a problem with how they flowed. And that is, man, that's a hard question to answer. When I write a scene, there's so much visual that I can see in my mind. A lot of the panels came pretty easy for this first scene. I've thought about it so much. But there's some panels that I didn't have any idea of how to proceed with what I was trying to depict. And the panel he was commenting on was where a bird takes like a really unexpected turn and Tolly almost falls off. But getting anything down on the paper was progress. So I got, the first thing that came to mind, and it was bad. I knew I was gonna have to redo it. But that's the sequence that I've been working on today, and I've been getting that a lot closer to something that I really like. The problem that I had with the previous roughs were if you just take the panels alone, they weren't really telling much of a story by themselves. And I know, in comics they're going to be, put up sequentially with a bunch of different panels, so it shouldn't matter as much. I don't know. But it bothered me enough to be like, oh, these panels are bland, they're not exciting, and I want this scene to be exciting, the opening scene. So I reworked them a bit today, and they're getting closer. They're getting a lot closer. It kind of brings to mind as well, like, how much I should be working on these roughs. I already feel like I've been working on them a while, but I could definitely rework each panel to death, to my detriment. And I don't think I'm doing that per se. I've had to redraw. Well, I'm going to have to redraw 9 of the panels. So there's like 24, 25 panels, something like that. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Each and every one of my panels has some sort of note on it. But for those other panels, there's at least something there to start with, There's something there that I feel like is a good enough idea that I can build off of it going forward. Where these 9 panels that I'm going to have to redraw completely, rework them, those panels are the ones that I need to start from scratch and get a better idea. And so far, so good. I hope we'll see. I'll have to rewatch this and see how I explained things, because I've never really talked about this stuff. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well at all, but yeah, 31 done. On to day 32. We will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks for sticking around and asking me questions sometimes. That's really cool. Peace out.